Hey guys, welcome back to the D&Y Podcast. I'm your host, and I'm here today with my co-host Dimitri. And today we have a guest with us. We'll get into it into a minute, and he's going to tell you all about himself. But this is going to be a fun episode, so buckle up because we're bringing the heat. So yeah, Taylor, before we start this, how have you been, man? And tell people a little bit, of course, about yourself.
Thank you, brother. I'm pretty good, Jason. I'm pretty good. So I'm Taylor Overton. I'm an online entrepreneur, online coach. I do productivity coaching for entrepreneurs. Um, Something which I've been really enjoying so far. I've made a lot of some good progress with so far, just helping out guys. Productivity, performance, mindset is it's like something which I used to struggle with. I used to have problems with in every area, and yeah, I just want to like shed light on it and be able to genuinely help out people with it. It's fulfilling. It's purposeful,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. Like I remember I've had like because I used to do sleep coaching in the past, right? Which to be honest is like a weird niche. And in the past, like I had times before where like I'd made no money. I was like wanting to quit. I was wanting to quit. There was actually a time last year, believe it or not, where like actually quit for a few days, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like back in August, and I was like, oh, screw this, I don't want to do this anymore. So I left my mentors group, like the WhatsApp groups, Discord chats, the school chats, everything, and um, for like a few days, and those 2 days were the most boring days of my life. And of course, I was like trying to get a job. I was trying to do all of that, and of course, a job's great, right, for like extra income and all of that. But I just said like no soul left. I had no like purpose or like no fun like hard fulfilling thing to work on. I had the gym, I had my habits, I had my friends, whatever. But it just wasn't happy. I just wasn't like truly happy, if you know what I mean. And then
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, no matter what, even if I don't make money from this is still something fun to do. This is still something great and purposeful that I can help out people with. Even if I don't make any money from it whatsoever, it's still great. It's still awesome. I still love doing it. So, yeah, that's why I think I switched over from sleep to productivity this year, like around March. Simply because it's just, sleep's like a real weird niche. Like, to be honest, we're young men. We can like be kind of sleep deprived but still perform real well. A lot of it's just your own excuses in your mind. Last night I didn't have the best sleep. I'm still here. I still like showed up. But
True that, true that.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So I switched over to productivity because that's something you can more so control really, really well. You can get a grasp on it really well. It's a transformation which I've had myself. But yeah, I hope that
Wow.
answers your question.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing to see like your journey and
Thanks, man.
the purpose you have behind it is pretty powerful, man. Um, and yeah, I mean, we'll get more into it and we'll ask you some more questions, but before we do that, we have this tradition where we share those wisdom nuggets,
Yeah.
something new we learn in the week or in the month, and I was just wondering if maybe you had something you wanted to share that you learned this week that you think would be valuable to our fans.
Escaping ruts.
Mm,
I am quite susceptible to like falling into ruts, into back bad habits, and to back to like how I used to be essentially. And I've tried everything to get out. I've tried forcing myself out of them. I've tried all sorts of stuff. I've had a couple really really bad ones. One of them being mid 2023, and the other one being like early last year. So I think it was about April
mm,
May. I'm not gonna go into details or specifics, but it was quite bad. Just like a lot of heavy internet screen usage, but just wastage of time, just bad habits, and just all of that. And I found like the way that I got out of those was that I dropped my ego at the time because my ego, like actually I had another one recently, but I've been able to escape that as well. Now I'm like crushing it again. I found as soon as I dropped my ego to the point where I could lower the bar for success and be like, okay, this is like okay, I've fallen off, right? Just accepting, okay, I've fallen off. I'm not where I used to be.
Mm.
Where, like, how small can I start off, for example? Okay, I can go back to doing this work task. I can go back to doing this. I can go back to doing that. We're just simplifying everything down to the point where, okay, it's gonna hurt your ego, right? It's gonna hurt my ego to simplify everything down. And to have like 3 tasks, literally go to the gym, track my calories, and then do like some work task, like a small amount of it. And I did that, and then I like pretty much wasted the rest of the day because I was like, okay, sweet. I've got that positive momentum at least. But then even then, in my brain I wanted to work more and more because I already had that positive momentum. So I dropped my ego, I dropped the bar to success with my habits, with my work tasks. I achieved it, so I followed that promise to myself, right? Following your promises is by far the number one rule you need to have in your life. Like, ever since I've been doing it, even if I need to stay up to like 12, 1 in the morning, following what I set out to do, and it sucks, it genuinely sucks, right? Even if you get 3, 4, 5 hours of sleep, at least you know to yourself that you did that, you were going to say what you were going to do. You followed your word, you know. Back to what I was saying with rights, and then just from there, getting consistent at those tasks and progressively overloading every single day. So what I did, so I had those 3 tasks, and I was like, oh my god, like, I actually kind of want to work more. So I did a bit more, and then after that, then I wasted the rest of the day. But at least I achieved those initial tasks. Then the next day, I had the same ones, but slightly incremented, as well as a new one. I achieved that, and because I had that positive momentum, and every time I did one of those tasks, I thought, yes, let's go, like, more momentum, let's go. As a result of that, in my mind, it started to crave hard work and crave enjoyment from that, rather than craving the bad habits. And now I've like, that was only about 6 days ago, by the way. Now, like, if I have a look at my to-do list today, I have like 12 tasks. And like a whole routine thing to follow. I would not be able to do that 6 days ago. But because I was able to slowly, progressively overload out of it, and drop my ego at first, now I'm back to being consistent and crushing it, which I think is by far the number one most important thing. Consistency. And you are going to have ruts during your life, but if you are aware of this concept of getting out of ruts and momentum building and dropping your ego, you instead of like most people, like, you're going to be, the trials will be like higher. You'll keep improving and improving. So, hope that's kind of valuable.
That's very
Yeah, a
interesting.
lot. I
Yeah.
think the small steps, and when you're in a bad situation, to try and get back into the momentum by just doing the small things gets you going a lot faster, rather than saying to yourself, okay, tomorrow I'm going to start and I'm going to work the whole 12-hour day and I'm going to do everything at once, because yeah, we've probably all failed with that. And yeah, same thing with the ego. I think you had a
Yep.
great point there. Especially we're so young, we can learn so much from other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So dropping our egos is it's just, we have to
Necessary.
do that. Even though we feel like we're so great and we're so cool and we're so successful and
Still have a
whatever,
lot more to go.
we still have a bunch of years to go and a bunch of things to learn. So
Exactly.
we got to drop our egos. So
Yeah.
thank
That
you
was
for
a good
sharing
one.
that.
That was a great one.
Cheers, bro. Cheers, brother.
Yeah.
Yassin, do you want to go ahead with your wisdom nugget for this episode?
Well, for me, the biggest wisdom nugget, bro, is honestly gratitude. No surprise here, but um, I was just having a lot of anxiety and just fear of the future. And then I asked one of the people I know, like, how do I stop with this? And he told me, bro, you know what your problem is? You're missing gratitude. You're missing that thankfulness energy in your life because you're just looking at what you're missing rather than what you already have. And I was thinking gratitude was kind of like I was doing it, here and there. But recently I created an AI bot specifically every single day part of my morning routine where tell it things I'm grateful for for different areas of my life, and it has been a game changer. Like, I just feel much more positive and much more happier on this journey. Even when results that I had in mind don't always come, at least I'm just, I'm in a good mood, bro. And I'm confident. So that's what matters. So this was a big one for me, bro. Gratitude, and also doing it with AI. Doing it with friends is great, but sometimes they're busy, sometimes they can't. But just for me, doing it with AI and chatting helps a lot, bro, where I just tell it the things I'm grateful for. So yeah.
That's great. That's great. Well, we'll get into the gratitude as well at the end of the podcast, as we always do. I'm gonna share my wisdom nugget real quick, and then we'll get into more of the golden nuggets that Taylor has to talk about today, because what you already heard was very interesting, and we'll get more into the productivity side of it, because I think he's a great source there. So my wisdom nugget is, if you put your mind to it, you can achieve everything. And it ties into what you say about yourself, and what you believe about yourself is how it's going to end up. If you say to yourself, I cannot do it, or I cannot do that, or I'm incapable, or whatever you say about yourself, watch what you say about yourself, because that's what will happen. And no one else is going to believe in you more than you have to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And that goes with everything. When you want to improve in sports, you want to, I don't know, if I want to hit a shot in paddle, I have to make sure that I say to myself, hey, I can do it. I can hit that shot. And same thing in business. I can reach that goal. I'm capable of it. And if you yourself don't believe in it, make sure you find out why you don't believe in it, and then take the steps necessary, so you have maybe the skills that you need to have in order to achieve that specific goal.
That's a great one. Guys, so far, if I was you, I would already leave a like for the gold we've dropped here.
Thank you, Yassin, for the CTAs you always drop here. Because if it were only be for me, I would forget it every time. So thank you for that. So, Taylor, I get to the first
Yeah.
question to you. If I'm not mistaken, you're 17, right?
Yeah.
You're so
That's right.
you had to fear for a second, but yeah, you're 17, which is very, very young to be in business. And I have to ask, how did you get into it so young? What made you get into it? You already talked about what you started with, which was the sleep coaching, but what made you get into that entrepreneurial mindset?
I think it was from Hamza, not gonna lie, a while back. Because I used to watch his videos a lot back in late 2022, early 2023. I got into self-improvement around that time, like back in November. I remember stumbling across one of his videos one time from like a Discord server. I used to be part of some like Discord. I can't remember the topic of it, and I was hearing about this dude. Oh, this new self-improvement creator Harms is like popping off. Like, check out this new video. I'm like, who is this? Like, I kept hearing everyone talk about this dude, and I was like, who is he? He sounds like some like, how to put it, like Egyptian pharaoh. I don't know. But like, so I decided to like go onto his channel and check it out. And I watched one of the videos. I think it might have been like one. Should I spilled a bit of my coffee? Okay, all good. But like, I remember seeing in one of his videos of like texting and like mental health and fitness and all of these topics. I was like, oh my god, it's like a haven. It's like a haven of like people who are like me, you know? Because I kind of got into self-improvement around that time, but not really at the same time. It was still kind of a vague thing, but all of that made it really clear. And over time, as I watched more and more, you know, my habits were good. I started to go into the gym like mid-2023. I started to take, you know, I tried taking life more seriously. I was like, hang out with people who were like-minded, which were really good. Going on runs, like doing discipline stuff. And then he started talking about business, and I was still kind of confused around this time because I was like, oh yeah, I can research into this, I'll research into this, but I'll start a business when I'm 18. I kept having this mindset of, oh, I'll start when XYZ condition. So I'll start doing this when the condition is right or perfect. But if you've got like at least 2 brain cells, you know that there's no such thing as something which is perfect. Because there's always problems to stuff in life. There's always problems no matter what. Dude, like, everyone's got problems. You've got problems, I've got problems. Heaps of them. We all do. Everything does. And so, as long as you learn to accept that, then you realize that there's no such thing as a right time to do anything, because a right time is also kind of implying like a perfect time. For example, approaching a girl. For example, there's always going to be something wrong. There's always not going to be something fully right. But anyways, back to what I was saying, back on track. And I kept having this mindset, okay, I'll start when I'm 18. I'll start when I'm 18. And this kept going throughout, the November, December, and then 2024 hits January, February, March, and then I fell into that rut, and I was just sick of where I was at. And I remember, like, I was on school.com, right, the website, and I was looking at these guys that were doing, like, in Hamza's, like, free community, doing, like, 10, 20, 30, 40k a month, 50k a month. They're, like, really good on self-improvement. They're doing really, really well. And I thought to myself, why can't I get up to that level? Like, that would be so cool, like, working on a business and, like, actually, like, generating money for myself, being able to, like, retire my family, being able to, like, do more stuff that I want to do. Just be fun. Like, to be honest, it wasn't really the money that appealed to me, but it was the way of making it which really appealed to me. For example, making content, or making school posts, because I've loved making YouTube videos and all that for the longest time. If anyone who knows me personally is watching this, they would know that I used to make, like, Minecraft videos and Roblox videos back in the day. Back when I was, like, 10, 11, 12 years old. So, yeah, I've always had a passion for, like, making videos and media and editing and all of that. But anyway, around that time, I was sick of where I was at. I buzzed my hair at the time, and I found someone on school who was, like, doing business coaching, essentially, and I decided to join their thing. It's like a low ticket, like, $10 a month thing, but I joined that, and I was like, oh my god, like, this is awesome. Like, I'm getting all these value from these guys. I was actually kind of still fairly new in the business space as well. And one of the guys who coached me at the time is still one of my good friends now. But that got me kick-started in all of business because he broke my limiting beliefs. I was afraid of what people would think if they saw my content. I was afraid of, like, what... he broke all my limiting beliefs. And then from there, boom, started. And it did take me a while to actually start making money. But yeah, I think that was about, like, May last year, June last year, where I actually, like, properly started and made a change. Where I started making content, where I started just, like, working on myself a lot. And I had, like, a really good growth period. And then I had another really good growth period this year. And I think right now, not gonna lie, I'm in, like, the middle of, like, a current big growth period. So yeah, that's, like, how I got into business, let's just say. So yeah.
Wow. Props to you, man, again.
Thank you, Ray.
You're never too young to start, I guess. See, guys?
Yeah, I'll like...
yeah.
Sorry for cutting off. Sorry for cutting off. I apologize, but occasionally I'll see guys who are like 15, 14, 13 getting into business. I'm like, why are they, out of all people, getting into business at that age? Like, dude, surely they, like, go play outside more. Surely they like, do more, like, fun stuff. Surely, I mean, like, at the same time, one of my clients is, like, 15, but anyway, at the end of the day, like, the best time would have been to start then. The second best time would have been now. And so the fact that we're doing it now is, like, already a blessing in itself. Imagine if you never started. Imagine if you waited another year or 10 years or until you finish your full-time job or you retired. Like, boom, that's like 50, 60 years down the drain. And not a lot of people get to wake up, And I'm not saying, like, business is the only way. Of course, there's all sorts of other options. It's what you truly want to do. But in terms of what you truly want to do, you should never try to delay it. But, yeah, back to what you were saying, Yassin.
Yeah, no, this is perfect. This ties perfectly to what I was saying. But I wanted to ask you, so with the age part, how often have you run into challenges or maybe where age was an issue for you in the business space, for example, or is that not a thing that you've had to deal with?
It's not really too much of an issue. to be honest. I'd say the only issue I've really had would have been maybe just credibility. And that's still fair, because I still have a lot more life experience ahead of me. Right? That's why I promote more of like a hybrid lifestyle where I'm still going out, I'm still experiencing things, I'm still experiencing life, I'm learning to do this, learning to do that. I'm not just locked in my room all day working. Because sure, you do make a lot of progress, but what's the point of that? Because I've got a personal brand as well, where I need to make videos, I need to make content, I need to express who I am and my personality. And so what's the point of having that if I don't even have any life experience to like back up what I'm saying? But back to what I was saying, there has been like payment processor issues and all of that, but all of that's so easy to sort out now. Literally just like, going to my parents, being like, hey, just gotta do that. Fill in guardian details. It's as simple as that, and then boom, you've got access to it. And then in like 5 months anyway, I can like change it to all mine. But yeah, I haven't really had too many age issues except for like credibility, which is understandable.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you'll always find a solution to any problem if you just put your mind to it. I mean, age is one thing, but there's still a lot of things you can do even when you're not 18. There's things that are a bit in a gray zone and where you have to go through through your parents, sorry. But it still works at the end of the day. So next thing is you already touched a bit into your content, and because you're building a personal brand and you're pretty active on content. I see you're posting
Thanks, man.
stories every day,
Yeah.
from what I've seen. And so
Wait, what's your Instagram? Oh, actually, we can do that after this call.
Yeah,
I can,
we'll
I
we'll
can,
put his Instagram in the description below so you can check it out.
yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
sweet.
put it as well. We'll put it as well, and I'll share you mine as well after the podcast. But
Awesome.
my question was, what's your biggest learning on building a personal brand? Maybe with issues that you've encountered and then you've learned something from it, or
Yeah.
something that might have surprised you one day about building a personal brand.
I think the best thing, or the biggest thing that I've learned, of course, I have still so much more to go in the content game. Like, I'm still pretty much a baby in all of this. But I'd have to say probably authenticity and just showing your personality. Because there's so many guys who are like, just like expressing like a fake personality online. Or expressing, they like don't go into any like their stories, like who they are, like even like the young people that I talk about, like trying to act like Andrew Tate or trying to act like Top G or Tristan Tate or Hamza or whoever. Of course, at first it can help a bit, but over time, like people's sense is just so fake, and that's what I tried doing for ages. A lot of this year, I was like real and authentic. As people who like, if there's people who personally know me watching this, like they know that I was like real arrogant and real like narcissistic and weird and like acting like not true to myself, and it was just shit. Oh, sorry, shouldn't swear, but like it was just a horrible time, you know. And it just displayed in my content as well. It wasn't authentic. I was trying to act like someone else. I was trying to act like someone who I wasn't. And I wasn't actually putting in the active work to become that person that I was trying to act. That's the main issue, right? If you're like actively trying to change yourself and actively like putting as much work into yourself as you can, then that's like that's perfect. But if you're like some fat, lazy, piece of, then like trying to act all arrogant, then no one's going to respect you. And that's essentially what I was doing, right? So, but by far I think authenticity in your content's key, because people in your audience who have the similar or same thought processes as you are going to process that and be like, oh my goodness, like Taylor's got like the same thought process as me. Dimitri's got the same thought process as me. Like maybe I should follow more of his content, see more of his value. Oh my god, like Yassin's story the other day, like it helped me so much with copywriting. Like maybe I should like try this new tactic out. Maybe I should like watch more of his like stories, check out some of his YouTube videos, maybe like a podcast with a guy called Taylor Overton. Like like maybe check out more of that. More of like the thought processes. So it's just authenticity. And from that, those people actually end up buying from you in the long term. Because they like you, they trust you and respect you, which is number one. And of course, I've still got so much more to learn in terms of content. I'm going to be trying out new forms of content real soon. But yeah, I think like universally it can just be authenticity and personality. And
What
quirks.
I was gonna ask you then, what do you think is the number one thing that stops people from being authentic on camera?
They're too attached to like the outcome. They think that actually maybe not that. They think that trying to act like someone else is going to get them to their outcome. That's what I mean. For example, acting like Andrew Tate, they think they're going to end up like Top Gear and have 5 Bugattis and have all this money and women and fame and whatever it is. And sure, that's cool and all, but like, you're trying to have someone else's personality. You're trying to adopt someone else's beliefs and thoughts and values into yourself.
Yeah.
When in reality, it's not like that. You should be aiming to become like the highest version that you can be, not what Andrew Tate can be, not what Donald Trump can be, not what like any other person can be, right? So, I think that'll be one of them, and then also just trying to like copy too much of other people's content. I think copying and like stealing like an artist's content's awesome in terms of ideas and like video production. That's what I've actually been doing. I'm going to trial out some new reels soon, but in terms of like your personality and authenticity, like the best thing you can do is just follow your own ideas. Follow like what you want to talk about. Like don't be afraid of expressing your own quirks, or, like your own voice or whatever like weird things you have about yourself. I have a weird voice. I have like a weird personality. That's okay. Like that's fine because that's me. Anyone who doesn't like it, they're not authentically attracted to me and they're not even gonna buy from me anyway. Same with friends or people at school. Like, people who aren't authentically attracted to me, I just simply don't hang around them. And then they're not going to be my friends. But the people who are authentically attracted to me, I do hang around them, of course. Or they are going to buy from me. So
Yeah.
it comes down to that, yeah.
That's very good. That's very good.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe especially the point that you said about we're trying to mimic other people or we're too attached to the outcome. You gotta be more input based than trying to dream about what the output is. Sure, you can have goals and say, okay, I want to make this amount of money, but then you gotta think, what do I need to do in order to achieve that goal? What does my input need to be? Instead of, hey, I want to find one new client, hey, I'm gonna post a reel every day for the next year, right?
Yeah.
And especially think of goal setting. That's something that Yassin and I have been trying to do. Instead of having it output based, we try to have goals input based so we can control what we do, because usually you cannot 100% control what the outcome is going to be. Reaching 10k followers or reaching whatever figure followers, you're not going to be able to control it 100%. Obviously, with the more input you give, the more comes back, but I think being focused on the value and the input is a lot more important. You want to be
100%.
valuable, or you want to share things, and as you said, spike curiosity.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, I used to resist Dimitri's input advice, but I've been doing it, and I mean it's all you can do. It also takes a bit of you dropping your ego, because sometimes you're like, no, I can do it all, I can guarantee that outcome and stuff. No, man, you just gotta take the seed, plant it, water it, and then you leave the rest. When it grows when the time is right, you know. But
When
yeah,
it rains, it pours.
exactly. I was gonna ask you though, since you are a productivity coach, what's the one thing young entrepreneurs mess up, and what is your go-to system to help them?
There's all sorts of things I like, and there's all sorts of things which I can answer with. The number one thing, probably there we go. Probably the belief that they need like 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 hours a day to like lock in and work and grind. And of course, I think everyone in the beginning needs a phase like that because it teaches you a lot about yourself. November last year, December last year, I was working about 12, 14, 16 hours a day. But a lot of that wasn't even real work. But that's why, like, I went through that to realize on the other side, okay, I could have done it a lot better, right? I went through that experience. And of course, the wise learn from other people's mistakes, but even then, I think it's one of those experience things where you find out, okay, how much should I, like, ideally work? What tasks do I love doing? What tasks do I hate doing? What tasks do and don't help me? How do I learn sales? How do I learn marketing? What's the sales called? Just, like, doing more and more and more. It's like the Alex Hormozy principle, more, better, new. And of course, I think there are going to be phases of your life where you need like more and more hours to work. Yesterday for me was like, I think I worked probably like 8, 9 hours. That was like one of my longest work days in a while. At the same time, I didn't have my job at that time or like any other like commitments that day. So I was like free to work. If I had like worked that day, it would probably be a lot less. But even then, like I would still get my stuff done real efficiently. I think for the most part, just realizing, okay, I can actually still make progress, a lot of progress, and a lot of effort to my goals, and work really hard, even just 4 to 5 hours a day, or 4 to 6 hours a day, and then live my niche. That's what so many people get wrong as well. And I even teach some of my clients, and this is something which I've struggled with too. It's just living my niche. Living up to like who I really am. Am I like really that productive? Am I following what I'm saying? Are my clients following what I'm saying? Am I like really making that amount of money? Like so many people. There's some guys who I know in the space who are like, sign 5 high-ticket clients. Sign like 10 high-ticket clients. And they're teaching you how to do that, and they sell you as a high-ticket client to teach you about getting high-ticket clients. It's coaching coaches on how to coach coaches to coach coaches to coach coaches. Like, it's the most, sorry for swearing, it's the most retarded thing ever. Because you're essentially, it's just a pyramid scheme at that point. Whereas, like, what I'm doing, like, I'm trying to genuinely help, but just the whole coaching coaches thing is just so gay. Like, sorry for, like, all the swearing, but it's just, it sucks. Like, I know people who do it, and they've never signed a high-ticket client organically. The people who I do respect, though, is the people who've actually, like, let's say they've had a fitness coaching business, or they've had a productivity coaching business, or they've had a mindset, like, whatever it is, and they actually achieved a lot of success through it, and then they teach the same systems that they used during that time period to people one-on-one for business coaching. I respect those people because it shows that they've actually got the results and they're legitimate. For example, John Mark Stevenson, shout out to that dude, he's an absolute legend. Check him out on Instagram. But other than that, then it's just useless. Never start out with business coaching. What was the question again? I wanted to like talk about another thing as well.
It was what's the one thing you see young entrepreneurs mess up, and what's your go-to system to help them?
Oh, my go-to system.
Maybe, refine the question to, because it's all about efficiency, right? Instead of working 20 hours a day, you put the same work in 8 hours, and rather than half of the 20 hours where you do nothing, or half, let's take maybe a more realistic thing of 14 hours instead of, or how to be more efficient with your work.
I think the number one thing I wanted to talk about this is like similar to coming out of the rut. But you start off small in terms of the task and the tasks inside of your business, and you try to complete it as fast as you can, whilst as high quality as you can, and you set like a dedicated amount of time for it. So, for example, you set 3 major tasks. For example, record a YouTube video and upload it, and then 10 cold outreach messages and 3 Instagram stories. For example, that's like real basic and easy to start off. You could set yourself like an hour to do that, or 2 hours to do that, and just have like that timer running in the background, and actively like checking out, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that. And you start off with those 3 tasks, and you just get consistent at that each and every day, because a lot of what I teach is down to like following your promises and trying to get that done as quickly as you can, and then slowly like getting consistent at that, and then adding everything back in over time, but you still try and complete it in a short time frame. And then on top of that, there's all sorts of other efficiency tactics which we can go into, such as, I love like working in the dark, so I can like close all the curtains up and put on my AirPods and just like work in the dark. Or putting on a hoodie is also pretty good because it's like, you know, it's kind of like tunnel vision. Like when you squint your eyes at the computer screen, there helps. Having a timer on, I've already said that. Coffee as well. I love coffee. I,
I love it
I'm
too. I love it
I've been
too.
I've been having like up to 3, 4, 5 cups of coffee a day at the moment, but I've
I
been
feel
making
it.
more
I
money.
feel
I've
it.
been making more money, so that's a positive. Um, Nicotine can help, but you have to cycle it. I don't personally have nicotine myself. I've had it before, but not before work. Um, but with nicotine, like I know some guys who like can cycle like Zins or cigarettes before like their work with like coffee. Apparently, it's like actually like a real good buzz. But you have to like do like maybe a few days on and then a week off, a few days, because it is real addictive. If you are
Mm.
able to control it, then it can be real good. What else is good? Yeah, caffeine plus nicotine is real good, but just don't do nicotine often. Um, there's
Do you go
also
work
yeah,
at coffee shops and spots like that?
occasionally, yeah, I love doing it. The coffee there is so good, bro. It's so awesome. You got a nice flat white, like you break your fast there as well. You're like there with one of your mates, like it's so good, bro. I might go there this Sunday with a friend and record some content at a coffee shop.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think surrounding yourself with like other people that work as well is like a good accountability thing because at home it's really easy to get distracted and do
yeah,
something else or have your
like
phone and then you know yeah because that's the biggest problem when you're
by
trying
far.
to do a task to branch off and do something else. So I think especially when you have someone that's
Yeah.
there, it like keeps you accountable and
Yeah.
it's like, hey, you gotta work.
I wanted to mention one more thing. Sorry if I cut you off, but
No, no,
I
you're good.
think.
You're good.
Oh, okay, no worries.
You're
In terms
good.
of the whole phone thing, the best thing you could do, this is like the number one productivity tactic, number one efficiency tactic, because I think everyone gets distracted, especially during deep work blocks. The best thing you could do is, first off, just like turn it off, and then put it in like the other room. It's literally the number one tactic, I'm telling you. Nothing else beats that. I'm someone myself. I am real susceptible to scrolling and checking my messages constantly and like checking Instagram profiles and stalking. Like I'm so susceptible to that because Instagram, like all of these apps, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, all of these apps. Oh, TikTok. I don't have TikTok or Snapchat. Thank God, but they're all designed by psychologists to make it as addictive as possible. I think honestly, it would be like it's like far more addictive than like weed or like alcohol, cocaine, like all these drugs. It's more addictive than those. I'm not speaking from experience in terms of like hard drugs, but like it's your phone's addictive as. That's what I'm trying to say. But
Yeah.
yeah, the best thing you can do because even if you have it on you, even if you've got it like all the screens in apps and like the screen time, you are still gonna like disable those and go back to like scrolling. We're all susceptible to it because it's so addictive.
That's true.
If
Yeah.
you've got it near you, especially in the gym as well, like for me, the gym's like a bad habit because I also like during my sets I like to take I like to like go do like client messages and like close deals in the middle of gym sets, which can be fun, but also like wastes a lot of time. I think yeah, by far the best thing is just like getting up, turning off your phone, putting it in like another room, and then putting it in a drawer in another room. Instead of you just subconsciously picking up your phone because you're bored, you're like, oh my god, I actually need to like get out of like my comfy work spot, and then go over to my other room, go into my drawer, and then turn it on, and then go to my app. It's just hard, and then you're like, okay, I might as well just work. So
Yeah.
pretty good tactic right
That's
there.
a great one. That's a great one.
Thank
I
you,
mean,
brother.
I've had times where I thought about burning the phone, but but
Bang!
no.
That's a Yassin take there. Well, burning the phone. Sometimes Yassin has those ideas, but no, I actually was successful as well with the tactic of putting the phone in another room, even just because I work in my bedroom,
Yeah,
of just throwing it on my bed instead of having it on the desk, because then you, as you said, you have to get up and go take it. But even better is in another room where
Yeah.
it's it's even
Yeah.
more difficult. It ties into the book Atomic Habits, where it says if you want to, get rid of a bad habit, is make it less easy to, or more difficult
To
to
act.
reach.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanna talk about. I know you're not a sleep coach anymore, but this
Yep,
kind of also ties well with the phone thing. Because one thing I've personally been doing is I've been putting the phone away when it's time to go to bed, and I have a
that's good.
regular alarm clock, and it's been a game changer for time wasting. But I want to ask you, I know you said we're young and we can grind, but I also know that you still think if you can get sleep, get it, bro. If you can
Yep.
afford to get it. So, what are some, like, most people say sacrifice sleep to grind, but do you think sacrificing it kills your performance? And do you think some people overdo it? They just use that as an excuse because they're not efficient with work and they're like, oh yeah, bro, I'm hustling, but they're actually just sacrificing their sleep because they're not efficient. And does good sleep, do you believe, make you more money?
I think it's necessary to an extent to sacrifice a bit of your sleep. Because
Mm.
like with anything in life, like really good things come from really horrible things as well. I think
Mm.
all of us need time periods like next year, especially. Like, if I'm being honest right now, I'm not in like as of like a grind season. If I'm being honest, because I still occasionally go out, I still occasionally have fun like with friends and you know all of that. But anyway, I go on dates and whatever. But Nick, anyway, I think we all need like times like big sacrifice and big just hardship because we're men, right? We're supposed to go through that. But at the same time, the stuff that we're going through now is like nothing compared to probably like what our ancestors or our great grandfathers or anything had to go through like during the world wars. So,
Mm.
but back to what I was saying, I'm not like a sleep scientist or anything, but I think it is definitely necessary to an extent. Just saying from experience, because the times I've always like tried prioritizing just purely my sleep, like I'll always end up having like a few tasks left over. Even if I've like completed all my tasks, like I still like to work a bit more and like go through the DMs a bit more. I've found like each time I stay up a bit later, I always close a deal for some reason. I always close a deal
It pays
because
off.
I'm like going back and forth in the DMs. It's more of like a time zone thing for me because like when it's nighttime for me, it's morning for you guys, and when it's morning for me, it's like nighttime for you guys. But I think it is definitely necessary to an extent. That's what I'm gonna say.
Mm.
I think good sleep definitely does correlate to better performance. But for example, you get a poor night of sleep. That is not an excuse for you to perform poorly. That is
Mm.
no excuse for you to be like, oh, I might as well just like, oh no, I didn't get my sleep. I'm gonna like sleep the rest of the day. I'm gonna like sleep another 3 hours to recover. I'm gonna like take it really easily, real slow. Like, dude, you're gonna fall behind in the big race that we're all running. Essentially, maybe not by too much, but still, you're still gonna fall behind. You're still not like hitting your potential. You're reinforcing that negativity to yourself. Oh, I can't perform when XYZ. I can't perform when XYZ isn't right. And nothing is ever right. Your sleep's never going to be like pitch perfect. Unless you're like, I don't know, you're like Brian Johnson, you're investing like millions of dollars into your sleep and like yourself, and you're trying to reverse your raging. And we're not doing that yet. So, I think, I think, just learn to like still perform in the unoptimal. For me personally, I've had times before where I had like 3 or 4. I actually remember like earlier in July, so a few months ago. I remember I had to wake up at 6:30 because I had to like I was going on like a run with my best mate to the beach and we're like gonna go grab coffee after, and we're gonna go like swim and take cool photos but anyway, so we did that. But like that night, I had to stay up till about 2:30 in the morning because I had like client calls to take. I had like client like had to go back and forth on the DMs of clients. Like I actually made like a lot of money, and I had like 4 hours of sleep. But because I followed all my promises and I was in a real high state as a result of doing that, I literally did not feel the sleep deprivation the next day, even
Mm.
like right after waking. I didn't even have a coffee right after waking. Like I was just running on pure adrenaline pretty much. And I remember like afterwards with my mate, I was just thinking, oh my goodness, like I feel so good. Like I feel like I've got this like young energy, this young like infinite energy source. And and even that day, like I closed another deal as well. I closed another few deals, but for the most part, you shouldn't try to do that all the time. Because then I actually tried, I was like, okay, sweet, I'll just like not sleep pretty much. I had like 3-4 hours of sleep a night for a week and then I had a massive crash. So don't do that. But for the most part, just try, if you can, try at least get like 7 hours. I'd say like 7 hours would be like a real good amount. But for example, you need to like still do your tasks on a night. Don't be afraid of doing it. But for the most part, just try to get your stuff done earlier. Because that's the whole point of performance, just getting your stuff done as quickly as you can. But I hope my yep solves that question.
Yeah, yeah. I I was gonna say, I think also you mentioned like some people they take 3 hours to recover. You
Yep.
know but I've noticed for myself that when I try to just do that or take these 3 hours to recover, it's not as good as if I just went on with the day and then slept a bit earlier the day after.
Yep.
I've
100%.
noticed that is more efficient because just your body's used to a certain cycle. At night that's when it's go time.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah,
100%,
but
brother.
if you do it once in a while, or if it's once a week or something, especially while we're young, I mean, we have so much energy, we should take advantage of that, because in 20, 30 years, we're not going to be
Yeah.
as sharp and as high energy as we are.
I wanted to mention something real quick. Sorry if I cut you guys off, but I actually, yeah, I saw this thing the other day where it was by this like you could say scientist guy. He's a good, pretty good influence in the space. He's into like medical health and science and like biohacking and all this. And he said like a good point is we like on self improvement, like we're essentially like gaining. You could say health points or whatever. Just like as a metaphor, like health points. We're going to the gym, we're meditating, we're eating clean, we're going out, we're getting sunlight. We we have healthy caffeine intake. We have like healthy we're working hard, we're training hard, we're sleeping fairly well. We are gaining more and more of those like health points essentially.
Mm.
Compared to like let's say the average person who's got like maybe 20, right? For example, is like they don't like maybe not the average person, but just say like a good amount of people who let's say they don't go to the gym or don't exercise or don't run or don't like or smoke cigarettes all the time or do drugs or eat unhealthy, all of these things, right? Or sleep poorly, whatever it is, they have significantly less health points. So, for example, they've got like 20, we've got like, let's say, 70 or 80. If we decide to have like a night out, for example, right, where it's not optimal, right? Because we've been working on our health so much more, we can recover a lot quicker. And of course, we're going to like lose some health points. So, let's say we drop down to like 75 or 70. It's actually not even that bad in the long term, like once in a while, right? Or like if we decide if we need to like stay up to work on like a client call or a client project, um, or whatever work task it is, we might lose a bit of health points, but it's not actually going to be that detrimental to us because we've already built up so much. So let's say we'd lose like 5 or 10, but it'll be absolutely detrimental to the average person because then they'd be down to like 10 or 5, like it would not be good. And of course,
Yeah.
it's not an excuse to like, okay, don't go out like drinking every night of the week, right? Or like smoke your lungs away, or do drugs. But that's what I
Yeah,
wanted to mention.
yeah, it's a good point, because I've seen someone say something. I think it was this week, where he said like the smoking cigarettes is bad, but then the second worst thing is not working out. Like, not working out is like second on the list, or just after smoking cigarettes. So you're better off smoking and working out than not smoking and not working out. So it just shows you how important working out is for the
Exactly.
body, for
But don't
everything.
take this as an excuse to go smoking and stuff. No, no.
It's not what I'm saying. It's not to encourage you guys to smoke, but it's just to show that working out
Exactly.
is very important. And just because you say, hey, you smoke, your health is so bad, but then you sit on the couch every evening and you watch Netflix, and somebody else, I don't know, goes and play sports or exercises, he's still better off than you are. So just go exercise. Just do something. Move. Find a hobby, a sport that you enjoy.
You can never
Exactly.
have too much health points, you know.
Mm.
You can always.
Love exercise. It's just so good. So good.
Absolutely. We're already at 52 minutes. So
Yeah.
I
Wow.
suggest it's gone pretty quickly, and
It
I
has,
think
eh?
there's a there's a lot of very, very interesting things for our viewers here, and I think for all of us, we've all learned something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but unless, I mean, Taylor, you have something else you want to share where you're like you couldn't sleep tonight if you didn't say that on the podcast episode. Maybe there's something you still want to say, but yeah, if not, we can get to the gratitude part of the podcast. But I'll let the word to you if you have something else to say.
I'll think for a sec.
In the meantime, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe and tell us what tip you're gonna take to make yourself more productive today. There's plenty.
Make sure to subscribe. Yassin and Dimitri, they're awesome people. Go watch them. They're just themselves on camera. They're authentic. Go like this is not even me. Like this is not me being paid to do this. This is completely for free.
Thank you, man.
But
I appreciate that.
no worries, bro. No worries, but
But we'll put
so
as we said, we'll put the link to Taylor's socials. He's doing YouTube and he has an Instagram as well. Put that into the description. Go check it out.
I'd say for the most part with entrepreneurs, like a lot of them just forget about like just life in general. Like I think it's like what Alex Ramosi said of just doing stuff, doing like just having as much life experience to tell as possible. Because I wish I learnt about that earlier on. Because even now, I've still so much more life experience to go. Like I'm still a baby in terms of life. You know, like I don't have a car, I haven't had like certain experiences before, haven't like had certain things. It's a matter of like just do more stuff which scares you, which challenges you as an like you don't want to be like just working all the time. You know, it's so easy. Like at first in business, when you start working like 10, 12 hours a day, or even just working in general, it becomes real comfortable. You know, you're sitting down, you're working, you're doing the same stuff, you're taking the same calls, you know how to sell, you know how to do this. And then the next scary thing is going out and talking to people in person, going out and offering yourself out there in person, going out and like actually recording content outside where other people can like see you and judge you, going out and, like approaching a girl, going out and like going to networking events or going even partying or like socializing like for me used to be scary, you know.
Yeah.
So it's all a matter of like your comfort zone and seeing like what you can do, more life experience. You know, so many entrepreneurs forget about this, and it's like I think especially the younger ones, like the guys are like 13, 14, 15 who are getting in the space. You know, they're forgetting about like like basic like childhood experience, and I was one of them. I think for the most part, just still do entrepreneurship. Like don't for those people, don't give it up. You know, always do it, no matter what. Even if you're doing like maybe an hour or two of work a day, and you're just staying consistent and slowly getting better and better. Like that's kudos, still kudos. But just don't forget about like having life experience or having like occasional fun. Like, but always go into those things with like, okay, what can I learn out of this? What can I like? How can I grow from this? Is this something which is going to be detrimental to me or help me grow further? You know, because a lot of us forget about that. It's so easy to get caught up in the workspace. And I think if you've got a balance where like you know you occasionally go out, you occasionally like experience new things, you do things which scare you. Of course, don't do like drugs or anything like no. Or like anything like stupid or go to jail, like no. Like, that's not a good life experience to have. Because then you've just like, at the end of the day, then you'll just have like a fentanyl addiction and then like jail time. Like that's not the way to go.
Everything
But
that's
like,
within the legalities.
yeah.
Go and live life. Go and experience
Exactly.
things.
That's
Go to new
what I'm saying.
places.
Yeah, and I still have so much more to go. But just never give up the
No,
business as well. You know,
Well,
and I think the best way is having phases where you're like real locked in, and then having phases where you like have a bit more. For me, I'm trying out like a hybrid thing at the moment, just occasionally going out, but most of the time being locked in. But yeah, I think that's all that I had to say. Let's get into gratitude.
Dimitri, wait, because I think I'm gonna be the one who can't sleep if I don't ask Taylor this, because I think it's
Okay,
important.
all good. Go ahead.
yeah,
I
Go
go.
ahead.
I want to ask you, Taylor, how important do you think networking is? Because some people, they might be like, bro, I go to these networking events, but then I'm not really working. So is networking actually like helping me with the business and working, or is it more like a excuse for me to not do the real work? Do you know what I mean?
Networking events maybe take like 2 hours, like 1 or 2 hours, like every few weeks. Like
Mm,
it's not. I don't know what logic people have in order to think that, but I think it can be pretty valuable going to networking events. To be honest, for me, I don't really see too much value in it because I might have met like with one of those guys from a networking event like maybe once more before never really seeing them again. But that's just me because to be honest, like when I went to a couple networking events for the first time, maybe I need to go to more. Who knows? But a lot of them were just like far older than me, like 30, 40, or like in their 20s. And of course, it was cool to talk to those people and like to um, learn from them because that's like real valuable. But in terms of like generally hanging out, like so I'm more of a person who like likes to hang out, or go on runs, go to the beach, go like to the sauna, go like work out, go have fun, go like I prefer those sorts of people who are also into business. I like recording content as well. So I actually networked with people like on I think it was like Hamza's community where there's like a whole map, more in the self improvement space, more in like the content creation space, finding people like who are also into content creation but in my city, and I've actually like made some like good friends with some of those people, which has been pretty good. So like what I like my one of my closest friends at the moment, like I met him through one of Hamza's communities. He's like my age, and another good friend of mine who he started content again recently. He's like 19, turning 20. I'm pretty sure he's turning 19 this year. But like he's fully into like carnivore and exercise and training and diet. It's like me and him now like pretty much go out either every second weekend or every weekend. We'll go on like a run or we'll go lift weights or we'll go record content. Right, this weekend we're gonna go try like an experiment before the gym and then seeing how it impacts our performance, like recording like a bunch of content of each other. It's gonna be sick. So it's
mm-hmm.
like that gives me something to look forward to each weekend, as well as also I think the next day after that I'm going out with my close mate and then recording content too. So it's like that stuff actually makes you more money. You can work as well as like being with those people, and when you're spending more time with those people, like you're spending like the average of your time with them, you become more like them, especially if it's people who are doing better than you. Like every time I go around that mate who's like fully into carnivore, like he's 6'3", he's like 90 kilos, he's jacked as, like makes me feel small in the gym. So I want to like
Right.
lift more weights. I want to like get bigger and bigger, and that pushes me to do better and better and better. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
hope
was
that
good.
answers your question.
Yeah, it does. It does. Well,
Perfect, brother.
now we can move on to the gratitude, Dimitri, unless you're the one who has something you really need to ask.
No, I'm good. It was really interesting, and I've learned a few things that I think I can implement, especially on the efficiency part and the locking down the tunnel thing with
Mm.
the hoodie and those things are surely things I'm gonna implement because
Awesome.
that's something that I need to work on the efficiency. But yeah,
Yeah.
Yassin, do you want to start with the gratitude part?
Yeah, sure. I'm first thing I'm grateful for is the fact that we were able to have Taylor on this podcast and that this podcast, in my opinion, has been great so far. So that's one thing I'm really grateful for. Um, the second thing that I'm grateful for is the internet and the Wi-Fi that's allowing us to connect all together from different places and just have these convos, but also work on our businesses because we all have online businesses. And then the final thing that I would say I'm really grateful for is just the fact that I have, you know, my family and that they're still alive, they're still healthy, and that I get to see them and spend time with them. So yeah, I'm grateful for all these things, thank God.
Perfect. Taylor, do you want to go with your three things you're grateful for, or do you need some time to think? Because otherwise, I can continue however you want.
You can continue and then I'll
Okay.
get to it.
Good. Yeah, so I am very grateful for this podcast in a whole because it's been, great connections. It's been all in all a pleasure to be able to do this podcast with you, Yassin, and it's a great opportunity for content. Then the second thing is my girlfriend, as well as my surrounding as a whole, with people around me. I just have a wonderful surrounding, and sometimes I forget to realize it, that so many great people around me. To mention my family, my friends, as well. And the last thing is exercise. I mean, that I get to exercise and people don't get to exercise. And really grateful that I found a sport that's a lot of fun, which is paddle. I don't know if you guys heard of that, but it's a lot of fun at the moment, and it's something that I can look forward for as well after work, to just think of something else, and improving there is so much fun as well.
I'm really grateful for my parents. They've done so much for me throughout my life. They've contributed to me a lot. They've helped me out so much in every single way and shaped who I am now and who I'm going to be further, and just like launching me into like a good path. I'm very, very grateful for the gym. It's probably like my biggest side quest at the moment, except for business. Just like, I love it. I love bodybuilding. I love the whole art. I love all of it. It's just so fun, so fulfilling. So like, it's awesome to see like, oh, I'm now this way. I'm now like, I'm doing this. It's so fulfilling, so fun. And I'm really, really grateful for coffee, because makes me more energized, makes me like more productive, you could say. Love it, tastes good. And I'm really grateful for you guys for hosting this podcast. Been really, really good. Been a really good time. So yeah.
Thank you, man. I
Thank
think
you, man.
we thank you back for coming on here, and
Yeah,
Of course.
and dropping this gold.
for making the time. Yeah, for dropping the goal. You dropped some good gems today. All right, guys.
With that being said, guys, we thank you so much for watching. Tell us
Nope.
down below what you're grateful for, because that's important.
Hmm.
And we'll see you in the next one. So don't forget to subscribe.
Bye bye.
Of course.
Bye.